Well, hello and welcome to today's segment of the A New Day show, excuse me, and also they're laughing at me in the control rooms, so funny. And to part two of the power of the subconscious mind. And I give myself a note again, guys, because my viewers have been reprimanding me that I have not been telling my viewers and my listeners how to get in touch with me. So there we are on the screen. You can get in touch with me by telephone 203-794-6208. You can connect with me on Twitter at Dynamic Daphne. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Daphne Clarke-Hudson. Facebook, you can connect with the show, facebook.com at the A New Day TV. You can check me out, my personal page on facebook.com, Daphne Clarke-Hudson. And the website you can check out, it's daphneclarkhudson.com. You can also visit my new platform, daphneclarkhudsonempowers.com. So I look forward to connecting with you at any of those forums, and let me hear from you. Also, my email is dynamicdaphne1@gmail.com. So there it is. I am putting it out there how you can get in touch with me, and I want to hear from you. If you have a story that you want to share with other of my listening audience, I would love to hear from you. So please let me hear from you. So now let us continue. We left off last time at we're doing the 3 steps to success, and we had gone through 1. So now let's continue with step 2. The second step to success is to specialize in some particular branch of work, no more than it than anyone else. For example, oh no, I did that part already. Let's go down to this section. It's the third. We did the second step. Excuse me. Let us continue on the third step. The third step is the most important one. You must be sure that the thing you want to do does not rebound to your success only. Your desire must not be selfish. It must benefit humanity. The path of a complete circuit must be formed. In other words, your idea must go forth with the purpose of blessing and serving the world. It is to benefit yourself exclusively. If it is to benefit yourself exclusively, the circle or complete circuit is not formed. And you may experience a short circuit of your life, which may consist of limitations or sickness. So you have heard me said on here numerous times over the years is that find what it is that you are called to do Do it with a passion and make sure you are serving others. And this is what Dr. Murphy is also saying here in his book. We are not here to serve ourselves or to edify who we are and lift ourselves up, but we are here to do that with other people. The measure of true success. Some people may say, but Mr. James made a fortune in selling fraudulent oil stock. A man may seem to be succeed for a while, but the money he obtained by fraud usually take wings and flies away. When we rob from another, we rob from ourselves because we are in a mood of lack and limitation, which may manifest itself in our body, home life, and affairs. What we think and feel, we create. We create what we believe, even though a man may have accumulated a fortune fraudulently, he is not successful. There is no success without peace of mind. What good is man's accumulated wealth if he cannot sleep at nights, is sick, or has a guilty complex? I know a man in London, Dr. Murphy writes, who told me of his exploit. He had been a professional pickpocket and had amassed a large amount of money. He had a summer home in France and lived in a royal fashion in England. His story was that he was a constant dread of being arrested by Scotland Yard. He had many inner disorders, which were undoubtedly caused by his constant fear and deep-seated guilt complex. He knew he had done wrong. His deep sense of guilt attracted all kinds of trouble to him. Subsequently, he voluntarily surrendered to the police and served a prison sentence. After his release from prison, he sought psychological and spiritual counsel and became transformed. He went to work and became an honest, law-abiding citizen. He found what he loved to do and was happy. A successful person loves his work and expresses himself fully. Success is contingent upon a higher ideal than the mere accumulation of riches. The man of success is the man who possesses greater psychological and spiritual understanding. Many of the great industrialists today depend upon the correct use of their subconscious minds for their success. There was an article published some years ago about Flagler, an oil magnate. He admitted that the secret of his success was his ability to see a project in its completion. For instance, in his case, he closes his eyes, imagine a big oil industry, saw trains running on tracks, heard whistles blowing, and saw smoke. Having seen and felt the fulfillment of his prayer, his subconscious mind brought about his realization. If you imagine an objective clearly, you will be provided with the necessities in ways you know not of, through the wonder-working power of your subconscious mind. In considering the 3 steps to success, you must never forget the underlying power of the creative forces of your subconscious mind. This is the energy in back of all steps in any plan of success. Your thoughts is creative. Thought fuses with feelings, becomes a subjective faith or belief. And according to your beliefs, it is done unto you. And that's written in the scriptures, and that's found at Matthew 9 and verse 29. And I want to back that up with for all those religious people who will probably want to call and say, oh, you gone New Age on the show. So that came from the Bible, you guys. Knowledge of a mighty force in you, which is capable of bringing to pass all of your desires, gives you confidence and a sense of peace. Whatever your field of action may be, you should learn the law of your subconscious mind. When you know how to apply the powers of your mind, and when you are expressing yourself fully and giving of your talents to others, you are on the sure path to true success. If you are about God's business or about part of it, God by his very nature is for you. So, who can be against you? With this understanding, there is no power in heaven or on earth to withhold success from you. How he made his dream come true. A movie actor told me that he had very little education, but he had a dream as a boy to become a successful movie actor. Out in the field, mowing hay, driving the cows home, or even when milking them, he said, I would constantly imagine I saw my name in big lights at the large theater. I kept this up for years until finally I ran away from home. I got extra jobs in the motion picture field, and the day finally came when I saw my name in great big lights, as I did when I was a boy. Then he added, I know the power of sustaining imagination to bring success. His dream pharmacy became a reality. This is the testimony of another person who used the power of their subconscious mind to help them manifest that desire. 30 years ago, I knew a young pharmacist who was receiving $40 a week plus commission on sales. After 24 years, he said to me, I will get a pension and retire. I said to this young man, why don't you own your own store? Get out of this place, raise your sights, have a dream for your children. Maybe your son wants to be a doctor. Perhaps your daughter desires to be a great musician. His answer was that he had no money. He began to awaken to the fact that whatever he could conceive was as true he could give conception. The first step toward his goal was his awakening to the powers of his subconscious mind, which I briefly elaborated on for his benefit. His second step was his realization that if he could succeed in conveying an idea to his subconscious mind, the latter would somehow bring to pass. He began to imagine that he was in his store. He mentally arranged the bottles, dispensed the prescriptions, and imagined several clerks in the store waiting on customers. He also visualized a big bank balance. Mentally, he worked in that imaginary store. Like a good actor, he lived the role. Act as though I am and I will be. The pharmacist put himself wholeheartedly into the act, living, moving, acting, and assuming that he owned the store. The sequel was interesting. He was discharged from his position. He found a new employment with a larger chain store, became manager, and later on district manager. He saved enough money in 4 years to provide a down payment on it. He saved enough money. He saved enough money in 4 years to pay down a down payment on a drugstore of his own. He called it his dream pharmacy. It was, he said, exactly the store I saw in my imagination. He became a recognized success in his chosen field and was happy doing what he loved to do. Using the subconscious mind in business. Some years ago, I gave a lecture to a group of businessmen on the power of the imagination and the subconscious mind. In this lecture, I pointed out how Goethe used his imagination wisely. When confronted with difficulties and predicaments, his biographers point out that he was accustomed to fill many hours quietly holding imaginary conversations. It is well known that his customs was to imagine one of his friends before him in a chair, answering him in the right way. In other words, if he were concerned over a problem, He imagined his friend giving him the right and appropriate answer, accompanied with the usual gesture and tonal qualities of the voice, and he made the entire imagery scene as real and as vivid as possible. One of the men present at his lecture was a young stockbroker. He proceeded to adopt the technique of Goethe. He began to have mental imagery conversation with a millionaire banker friend of his who used to congratulate him on his wise and sound judgment and complimented him on his purchase of the right stocks. He used to dramatize this imagery conversation until he had psychologically fixed it as a form of belief in his mind. The broker's inner talking and controlled imagination certainly agreed with this his aim, which was to make sound investment for his clients. His main purpose in life was to make money for his clients and to see them prosper financially by his wise counsel. He is still using his subconscious mind in his business, and he is a brilliant success in his field of endeavor. Boy of 6 years turned failure into success. A young boy who was attending high school said to me, "I am getting very poor grades. My memory is failing. I do not know what is the matter." I discover that the only thing wrong with this boy was his attitude, which was one of the difference and resentment towards some of his teachers and fellow students. I taught him how to use his subconscious mind and how to succeed in his studies. He began to affirm certain truths several times a day, particularly at night prior to sleep, and also in the morning after awakening. These are the best times to impregnate the subconscious mind. He affirmed as follows: "I realize that my subconscious mind is a storehouse of memory. It retains everything I read and hear from my teachers. I have a perfect memory, and the infinite intelligence of my subconscious mind constantly reveals to me everything I need to know at all my exams, whether written or oral. I radiate love and goodwill to all my teachers and fellow students. I sincerely wish for them success and all good things." This young man is now enjoying a greater freedom than he has ever known. He is now receiving all A's. He constantly imagined the teachers and his mother congratulating him on his success in his studies. Well, I pray that this little conversation in part 1 and 2 of the power of the subconscious mind on this A New Day show has helped you to begin the reinvention process of your life and what it is you want to do for you. It really does not matter the obstacles and the struggles that you have gone through. You, with the help and the concentration of the functions of your subconscious mind, can undo all the things that you have bagged on. It needs to be your responsibility, not to blame anybody else, not to give anybody else control over what it is that you need to do, but for you to take control and utilize your subconscious mind. You can do it. Age has nothing to do with it. You heard me just share a process that this young boy used. He had gave up on himself. And so, there are many of us adults who have given up on ourselves, regardless of what happened. It might be a divorce, it might be foreclosure, it might be anything that we just throw our arms up in life and said, I can't bother anymore, I'm not going to do it. I am here to ask you to just give yourself one more chance, one more opportunity. One more opportunity. Find someone who can help you, to hold your hand and to encourage you again, to let you know that yes, you can become that great person that you were created to be. It is never too late. Doesn't matter whether you're 16 or 106, you can still take control of your subconscious mind and you can live that life that you are called to live. A life of abundance, a life of success, a life that illustrates love, harmony, and peace, and total awesomeness and joy. Remember, I am here and I want to hear your story. So when you has come to grip with your reinvention, I want you to remember to call me or email me. The number is 203-794-6202, or email me at dynamicdaphne1@gmail.com, and I will be so happy to share your story here. I will see you when I'm back here again.